What's up with the NBA fans? It's your boy Tone Hart, and you guys see the title of the video. So go ahead and like and subscribe, and we're gonna get right into it. Now, I was sitting there really thinking to myself and really looking at a lot of things, watching a lot of highlights of it's the off season, so I'm watching a lot of highlights and stuff of LeBron and his run in Cleveland, his run in Miami, his run in the East, and it had me thinking. We hear these takes through the media so long that we start to believe them and think that they are true. And I have to remind myself of what I was seeing at the time and what I came to grips of in 2018 by the time he left the Eastern Conference. So I'm going to tell you guys pretty much, how can I say this? What really came to mind is this. Bottom line is this. Was the Eastern Conference weak, or did LeBron James make it look weak? Let's get into it. So, LeBron James made the playoffs in 2006. In 2006, in the first round series, he played Gilbert Arenas and the Washington Wizards. I believe they were the 4th seed, and the Wizards were the 5th seed. So, in the first round, LeBron's first playoff series, it goes 6 games against the Wizards. Follow me. We already know that's the game where he taps Gilbert Arenas' shoulder, and, the rest is history. The following season, in 2007, they played the Wizards again in the first round. Same result. Cavs move on to win the series. Another year they played them in 2008 in the first round once again. This is LeBron's first 3 years going to the playoffs. So his first 3 pretty much, not playoff series, but his first his first year when he made the playoffs was in 06, and then 07, and then 08. So his first 3 years making the playoffs and finally figuring it out as a pro. Becoming that player to take the next step. So he's dominating the Wizards. The numbers are overwhelming. Against the Wizards, LeBron James averaged 31 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Dominating them, beating them 12 times, and only losing to them 4 times. One of the series was a sweep, and 2 of them went 6 games. I believe the first year went 6 games, and then the second year in 07, I believe they swept them, and then in 08, they end up playing them again and beating them in 6 games. So after that, they didn't really play the Wizards no more, but that's one franchise that LeBron James dominated, the Washington Wizards. The next franchise I'm going to mention, and it's going to pretty much blow you guys' mind. This is where we're going to just talk about the teams he dominated. The Atlanta Hawks. He used to put work on them. The 09 Hawks, LeBron James' first MVP season, he plays the 09 Hawks. Joe Johnson's on the team. They just get done from playing Dwayne Wade in a 7-game series. And I'm just going to tell you guys how LeBron sunned the Hawks. The Hawks have never, let me repeat this, have never won a playoff game against LeBron James. When Jeff Teague said, I never won a playoff game against LeBron, he was not lying. 2 of those series, he was an Atlanta Hawk. And he didn't win those games. You know what I mean? So, against Atlanta, LeBron is 12-0. LeBron James is 12-0 against Atlanta. Averaging 30, 11, and 10 in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to see a reoccurring theme with this Eastern Conference Finals theme going forward. With the Atlanta Hawks, he played them in 09, 2015, and 2016, sweeping them each time and playing them in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2015 with the Atlanta Hawks being the number 1 seed. So, first was the Wizards, second was the Hawks. Another Eastern Conference playoff team that couldn't get past LeBron James that he defeated and owns. The Chicago Bulls. Yes, the guy he looked up to, Michael Jordan, he had to face his franchise, the house that he built. LeBron stuck it to that franchise a little bit by beating them. And they have never, ever, the Bulls have never won a playoff series against LeBron James. In 2010, they played them in the first round. Gentlemen swept, lost, only got 1 game out of them. In 2011, they played them. In 2010, they lost in the first round. In 2011, they played them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Derrick Rose is the MVP, and they got gentlemen swept again and lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to see a reoccurring theme with these teams. The Hawks, they've been to the conference finals and had to go through LeBron and still couldn't get past them. The Bulls, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals as well in 2011, but couldn't get past LeBron. They played them 4 times, 2010, 2011, 2013, and 2015. LeBron is 16-5 against them, averaging 27, 8, and 6. To be honest, this is the only team and the only franchise in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference that held LeBron to 27 points. That's the lowest. That's his lowest average. His lowest average against a Eastern Conference playoff team is the Chicago Bulls at 27, 8, and 6. Moving on to the next franchise he dominated. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's 16-5 against them. So he's 12-4 against the Wizards in the playoffs. He's 12-0 against Atlanta in the playoffs, and now he's 16-5. 16-5 against the Bulls. All right. The next franchise that he dominates. This is a fun one. The Indiana Pacers. Yes, the Indiana Pacers. LeBron James averages 29, 8, and 6 against the Indiana Pacers in his career. His record is 20 wins and 10 losses. One of the only franchises in the Eastern Conference to have that many losses with him. It's another franchise, but we're going to get to them last. We're going to save the best franchises for last. We're getting to the teams that he dominated first, that never beat him in a playoff series, and we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference teams that did. All right. Pause. So, where did I leave off at? Okay, so they're 20-10 against him. His playoff record, so he has 20 wins, 10 losses. All right, in 2012, knocked the Pacers out. 2013, Eastern Conference Finals, beat them in 7. 2014, Eastern Conference Finals, beat them in 6. 2017, sweep. 2018, 7-game series in the first round. So, he's played them a total of 5 times. He has beaten the Pacers 5 times. 5-0 against the Pacers in the playoffs. 20-10 record overall, and averaging 29, 8, and 6. And the Pacers went to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. What's the reoccurring theme that I'm trying to point out to you guys? The Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals, couldn't get past LeBron. The Bulls went to the Eastern Conference Finals, couldn't get past LeBron. And now the Pacers, back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals, but couldn't get past LeBron James and the team he's playing with. This franchise, this is the funniest one. LeBronto, the Raptors. And the funny thing about it is earlier in LeBron's career, he didn't really play the Raptors in the playoffs. When he was in Miami, he never played Toronto in the playoffs. But when he got back, that second stint in Cleveland, like how DeMar DeRozan said, that second stint in Cleveland, that man was playing like a man possessed. And in 2016, he beat them. 2017, he beat them. 2018, he beat them, which means during that whole run, when he was going to 4 straight finals, in 3 of those years, when he was going straight to the finals, he was beating the hell out of Toronto and averaging the best numbers he's ever had. I wanna hopefully I can find this and look this up real quick. LeBron James, I had it. Let me see if I can go back, because let me see. I can go back and look at it right here. We looking at it against the Raptors, right? Yeah, this is crazy against the Raptors. Okay, I got the numbers right here, and I got it on his notepad, but whatever. He averaged 31, 8, and 7, 58% field goal shooting, 35% from 3, 69. Pretty much, I'm gonna give him a 70%. 436 total points, 117 total rebounds, 106 total assists. These are his numbers. Check this. This shit is fucking crazy, bro. Alright, this is 2016. His numbers. I'm just list all the points. Listen to them. 24, 23, 24, 29, 23, 33. Okay, that's 2016. That's when he was trying to really be a team player. That was the year they won that championship. So he was really trying to get Kyrie involved. That's really when Kyrie was really tearing Toronto up. Mainly, LeBron did most of his damage in game 4, it looks like, in game 6. But this is where he goes nuts on these niggas. Check this out. He sweeps them 2 straight years. And look, check this out. 35, 39, 35, and 35. Swept them and averaged 36 points against them niggas. In 2017 Eastern Conference semifinals, swept them and did it on 60% field goal. Okay, LeBron. This is why you can't hate on LeBron. No matter how much people want to talk shit and say certain shit, you got to give the man his ill. Like, you got to give the man his ill. Like, people are going to be making a lot of more videos like this about LeBron, bro. Like, now that he's getting towards the end, this is the final couple of years of his career, people are going to make these, if people are already making videos, but people are really going to go deep and make videos, bro. Like, really breaking this shit down like this. But that's in 2017. Sweep them boys, get them out the way. 2018, that's a series where I ended up, like, low-key becoming a fan of the man. I was low-key, like, not really a fan of him, a Kobe guy, all that other good stuff, yada, yada, yada. If y'all watch my channel, y'all know the story. I became a fan of him in 2018, and it was really during this freaking series. Because he played out of his mind. And in game 2, when old boy was like, how did the fish grease? You feel me? He was cooking them niggas. I'm telling you. But here's the numbers. 26, 43, 38, and then 29. So, and then in game, what was the buzzer beater? The buzzer beater when it was like, Cleveland, this is for you. That one, that was game what? That was game 3, right? And he had 38, 6, and 7 on 53% field goal shooting. Bro, he literally whipped them boys in shape. Let's just say that. But his record against them is 12-2. 12-2 with 2 sweeps. And his numbers against them is 34. Is this right? Yeah, 34, 8, and 7, I believe. 34, 8, and 7, yeah. So, and then the Raptors was in the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's go back to these opponents that were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Outside of the Wizards, who he played early in his careers, in his first couple of years being a pro, the Hawks went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Couldn't get past them. Bulls, Eastern Conference Finals. Couldn't get past them. Pacers, back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. Couldn't get past them. Raptors were in the Eastern Conference Finals and couldn't get past them. This is where it gets fun. So we we talked about all these teams that he dominated. These are the teams that he dominated. And we're still going to talk about teams that he dominated. But what about the teams that he dominated, but they dominated him too? Let's talk about the teams that beat him in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then he had to get his get back. And one team in particular, he never got a chance to get redemption from. We're going to talk about that right now. So, the first team I'm going to talk about is the Detroit Pistons. This is another franchise in the Eastern Conference that very dominant, Chauncey Billups, Bad Boys 2, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace, all those guys were on that team. And they went to what? 6 straight, am I right? Eastern Conference Finals. 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals from what? 2003 to like 2000 and probably till 8 or something like that. So they went to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals, first of all. They went to back-to-back NBA Finals, beat my Lakers in one of them, and lost to the Spurs in another one. And damn near came this close to being back-to-back champions and actually beating the Spurs, if they didn't make a dumbass mistake in Game 5, leaving Robert Horry open. Story for another day. But the Pistons in 2006, LeBron's first playoff run, he runs into the Pistons. He plays them in the second round after he beats the Wizards and beat Gilbert Arenas and tapped him on the shoulder, all that good stuff. In 2006, he plays the Pistons second round, and I believe they lost in 7 games. What happens the next year? LeBron gets his get back. He plays like a man possessed in that Game 5, wills his team with 29 straight, and goes to his first NBA Finals eventually in Game 6. To eventually go play the Spurs and get swept. We know the story. But the point is, he played the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. A tough Pistons team. And how LeBron, I'm starting to notice a pattern with LeBron with this. A team, and people say he ain't got no killer instinct, but he does. This shows killer instinct. I love this pettiness about him. The Pistons beat him, right? Now, after you done beat me and I figured your franchise and your team out, from now on your team can never beat me when I face you. So now, 07, here goes. His record against the Pistons. This is LeBron's record. LeBron is, let me see if I have this right. 15-6 against the Pistons. He's 15-6 against the Pistons in the playoffs. Here goes the series that he lost. He lost in 06. I just told you that. He won in 07 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then in 09, he played him in the first round. Swept him. And in 2016, played him again in the first round and swept him. And his numbers against him are 29-9 and 9. So that's another franchise. But it's a franchise that beat him. It's a team that beat him. You feel me? Here goes some more. There's another team early in LeBron's career that he played in the Eastern Conference Finals though. And he never got a chance to get back on them. It's the Orlando Magic. In the year when he was supposed to go play Kobe in the finals, Muppet commercials, we know about it. People that know, they know. The Orlando Magic upset them. And it was one of them weird years where Orlando just got hot. And they just end up winning the East, bro. Like, KG got hurt. They played the Celtics. That series still went 7, but they stunned the world when they beat the Celtics. And then they went to go beat the Cavs. They beat back-to-back 60-win teams to go to the finals that year. And they damn near was a 60-win team they damn self. So that goes to show you how tough the East was in 2009. People want to talk mess like, okay, maybe the bottom half wasn't that great. Look at the contenders in the East in 2009. It was Cleveland. It was Orlando. It was Boston. You get what I mean? Those were the teams. And those were the teams who had some final to say in the final couple of rounds.